Coach, this is what I'm talking about. NFL playoffs at Lambeau Field with a snowstorm camped out over the upper Midwest. Let's go. It's time for some great football in Green Bay. Coming up, it's a battle to represent the NFC in this year's Super Bowl, and we've got a classic in store between the Seattle Seahawks and the Green Bay Packers. One of these teams will represent the NFC in the Super Bowl in 2 weeks' time. Which will it be as we're underway in the NFC title game? And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line.
Ready, break.
54. Mike 54.
Chopper, chopper.
Check 49, check 49.
Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. Yeah, that's not the start that he was looking for, as he's going to be met and dropped behind the line. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards.
X3, 218, chopper. 5.
2nd and 13. Looking deep for Adams. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. They were trying to liven up this playoff game very early on. Pretty deep throw, but good coverage.
I think they were counting on the defenders being a little tight, a little over-anxious early, and trying to catch them flat-footed and get a big play.
Yo, fast, lead grip.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. It's caught. Jones. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. How about a 39-yard pickup? They'll take it. All right, Charles, let me put you in the head of one of those defenders out there. You have a big play like that go against you so early. What does that shake your confidence?
It shouldn't, but it often does, because your thought process all during the week is how you're going to get after that offense and make your plays. And when they make one against you, makes you a little bit hesitant.
Time to regroup. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. They're going to look to throw. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Evan Ingram, 43 yards. As his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. So they take the opening kickoff and drive it all the way down the field.
And that's the last thing you want defensively. On the road, in the playoffs, and now you're down a touchdown right away.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at the 20. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
From the 25 on 2nd down, Wilson. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Seahawks, 1st down.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Rashad Penny, first carry for the former San Diego State Aztec. The tackle made by Blake Martinez.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Throwing on 2nd and 8, Wilson. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. Charles, already trailing by touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
The rushing numbers for Wilson, maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the 1st down.
You and I both know most coaches are really fearful about their quarterbacks running with the ball. They don't want them to take that big hit. I don't think they worry about that with Russell Wilson. He's so smart in what he does, and we just saw it there on that scramble.
Pretty nice work defensively there on the 1st down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On 3rd down, Wilson. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. That's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Oh, big decision here early. Look at this. They're going to go for it on their own side of the field. They'll indeed go for it with Wilson. And they're going to bring him down. Back across midfield at the 45. Kenny Clark. And it'll be a turnover on downs.
Got it. 6-6. Pull it high.
Here we go, G. Get off the field.
Ready?
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
Come on, set.
After the incomplete pass here now is 2nd and 10.
Rock it. Hit it.
On the counter, here's Jones. He's got a 1st down and more inside the 30. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Aaron Jones, 45 yards. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. On 2nd and 10, Wilson steps away. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd. It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on 3rd down. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, he'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. And he'll send this one into the cold Lambeau night. Jones on the return. We'll call that a 41-yard punt. The net a little greater, though, following a loss on the return. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10.
Blue draw forfeit.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give them 18 on that play, and Green Bay has the first as well. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Let's go.
14. Seahawks, nothing.
Set, ready? 18 Gator. Protein spill.
Watch his slant. Watch his slant.
Smoke. Two.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Got an open man. It's Washington. Touchdown, Packers. James Washington, 57 yards. But the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. On this stage, conference championship game, every play is magnified, and that was a big play.
No doubt about it. One thing that has these guys a step away from a shot in the big game, their big play ability. They can strike from anywhere.
This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 26-yard.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
He's going to air one out, and that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. Earlier in the quarter, when the defense was king on the run, you said offensively they need to open things up, take some shots downfield. Didn't work there, but they did it.
Yeah, I'm not going to change my tune now. I still think it's the right play, because when you take those shots downfield, you open the eyes of the defense to what you could do to them, and that may open some things up for you offensively.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett, 66 yards, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Extra point through the snowflakes, up and good. And they'll cut the lead to 21-7. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
On second down, it's Jones. And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down.
General West.
They'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jaron Reed. He's the culprit, causes a loss of 5, and it brings up 4th down. On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. Back deep for the Seahawks, Tyler Lockett.
The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 32-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
To throw on third down, Wilson rolling to his left. And he's going to be taken down at the 39, clearly short of the first by a few yards. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now fourth down. A reminder, as we've done all year, we'll send you to Orlando for our EA Sports halftime report in a bit. The coach is with us per usual as we start to look ahead, Charles, to our potential matchups in this year's Super Bowl.
Break it down, coach. Break it down.
Now it's Wilson. And he's got Lockett. And he is going to get the first down as he covers up after a pretty good shot there. Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on fourth. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
Martin, I think it's high time to get him some passes that he's comfortable with, some easy throws, some completions. He's not even hitting the 50% thus far.
Well, certainly that has played a big role into why they are trailing right now.
Ready?
Now Wilson to throw on third down. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Kevin King with a pick, and his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. So first and 10 now from the 30.
Gotta go, in and out, let's go.
Again, Wilson. He's able to find Wallace. First down, Seattle, 16 yards, the gain there. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Now on third down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete. Myers' kick is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
The Packers take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops, and if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
So we've reached halftime. Who will represent the NFC in the Super Bowl? 2 more quarters to go. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Hallis Trophy still hangs in the balance as the second half now underway in the NFC Championship game. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Looking to throw again on second down. Wilson looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And this is going to be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, it's a cold night, and whether you're a quarterback that wears a glove on his throwing hand or not, that ball is a rock, Brandon. You've got to really drive it through the cold and the wind, or it can take off on you. And that may have been what happened there.
This is Carson. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. From the shotgun, Wilson on the move to his left. He'll have a first down past the 40 as he'll get this one up to the 44-yard line. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a first down.
First down, Seahawks.
Alert, 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 alert. Three butt.
Penny, the first down carry. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse And I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
14, got it.
On 2nd and 9, Wilson throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Devontae Parker, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
I think someone's going to get into QB1's ear when he gets to the sideline. Already thrown an interception. That one should have been picked. Look, let's just be honest about it. That'd be the second person in his ear because he's hearing it in the huddle right now.
Not the start to the game he wanted. Like you said, the pick on the opening drive, second drive, not much better. Here's Carson with a catch out of the backfield. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. It's a gain of 15, 1st down Seahawks. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10, right at the 40. From the gun, it's Wilson. Got a man open. That's Devontae Parker, complete. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. And he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Here as he's taken down. Zadarius Smith. Give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. On 3rd and 1, Wilson. And it'll be intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Check 4. Check. Squeeze. Defense.
They'll try and get the running game going with Jones. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because when they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
2nd and 9 now. And that one incomplete. They tried to sneak in a deep ball with the clock running down, but to no avail as time will expire on this 3rd quarter of play. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Check 52. Go out. Ready.
They'll set up to throw. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. Well, don't change that channel just yet. This one may have gotten a bit more interesting.
Put down the remote, put down the clicker. This one looked like it was over. It looked like they were ready to seal the deal. But in doing so, by pitching it around a little bit, it cost them. We could have a great finish.
And this is caught. So they took a chance, but they are back within a single point here in the fourth. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Packers. That kick return falls 1 yard short of the all-time mark as it goes down as a 108-yard return. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. The extra point up and good. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. This is taken at the 3. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they had a nice little drive going last time through the interception in the red zone. Awesome. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Rashawn Gary. Give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A first down there on a pickup of 25. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Now Wilson. That's complete into the hands of Carson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That'll pick up the first down for Seattle on a gain of 18. Wilson now. A perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. First and 10. Operating from the gun. Wilson. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. That one goes for 24 yards. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down.
Well, he's proven real effective running the football. No one open, don't force it. Just get what you can, and that's what he's done very well in this game.
On second down now, it's Carson, and he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does? It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL, and all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. From 10 yards out, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game.
Wilson's pass complete to number 83. Touchdown, Seattle. Jason Myers.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. And it's no good. Well, that could be a critical miss here in a one-score game in the fourth. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
At their own 35-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Caught by Jones. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And now off to the races, down the right side. Touchdown, Packers. Evan Ingram, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Oh, that's pretty impressive, Charles. It's one thing to be an elite speed wide receiver and have all that yards after the catch into the end zone, but from your tight end?
Yeah, you don't get that very often. What you're describing is more like a Tyreek Hill, a Devontae Adams, and Antonio Brown. You're not talking about a guy that lines up or can line up in line and look like an extra tackle on running plays. He took that bad boy downfield just like he was a scat back.
Before the game, he told me, I'm going to have a zinger or two today. And I was like, oh, a zinger or two? I guess that's a zinger, right?
That's a zinger.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And that's going to be incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10.
Alert.
Wilson now to throw again. It's complete to Lockett. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. 2nd down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining. Now a pass hauled in downfield. And he takes it down deep into Green Bay territory. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Of course, remember, you need a touchdown here and a field goal.
Doesn't matter the order, but they have to get it done and get it done fast.
Wilson will throw again. And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, you get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
They'll look to throw. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Blake Martinez.
It's interesting that when it comes to two-point conversions, even heavy run teams tend to throw the ball in these situations. In this case, this one was intercepted.
Yeah, they weren't fooled. They were ready for the pass, picked it off. So a little under 50 seconds to go. Plenty of time if they can get this onside kick. And this is recovered by the Packers, so that might just about do it. Well, for a second there, I had flashbacks to a few years ago, the NFC Championship game for the Packers, but here they're able to hold on.
And many things changed in Green Bay after that game. Personnel, people coaching, the whole deal. And in this case, they get it done. No fail like they had in Seattle.
It's caught here by Adams. Give him 10 there, good enough for a Packer first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
They're going to look to throw. Looking deep for Adams. And this will be caught. Well, forget taking the knee. Some late gamesmanship here as they throw for a late touchdown. The fly route works for the TD ground.
And you know what the receivers love to say? If we get even with the defender, we're leaving. And that's exactly what he did all the way into the end zone. And then he was on the business end catching it once he got over the stripe.
And what a ride it has been. NFC champs, they have punched their ticket to the biggest show in sports.
And what a way to get there, to go the entire season and then play for the right to go to the Super Bowl and the right to call themselves NFC champs. Elation has to abound.
And that will do it for this one. For Charles Davis, myself, and the entire crew, we'll see you in 2 weeks at the Super Bowl.